What up, what up, what up? How are y'all doing? I'm doing great as usual. Well. Slow boxing week. I would have thought that we would have heard from AJ, Tyson Fury, Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, Bob Arum. I thought that there was going to be a huge announcement this week. I said on the Boxing Voice that the announcement for AJ Fury would come by Wednesday. Well, how wrong was I? I figured a slow week in boxing would give him just the perfect time to announce the biggest fight, I would say, in my lifetime. But we are still waiting. We hear Eddie say, "Yeah, we're close, we're close, we're close," in another 2 weeks. We hear Bob Arum saying the same thing. We're close, we're close, we're close. Another 2 weeks. Then we hear, "Yeah, the fighters got the final draft, blah, blah, blah. Just got to make a few minor adjustments." A handful of adjustments, they say. Well, today I saw a video with Eddie Hearn. I believe it was with Kugan Cassius and IFL TV. And Eddie Hearn says now we're just waiting on the signatures on the contract. All right, that's great news. My question to you, Eddie, did you send your copy of the contract to them with signatures? The answer is no, you didn't. You're waiting for them to sign first. Now, what should have happened was you and AJ look over the contract with whatever you were happy with, sign it, send it to ESPN, Top Rank, MTK Global, whoever you got to send it to, with your signatures already on the contract. Well, that didn't happen. So, Kugan Cassius, who is a great interviewer, by the way, he's a UK based YouTube channel, journalist. I don't know what you would call him, but he's been in the game for a while. Uh, Before they got off the topic of Fury and Joshua, Coogan asked him, was there a date and a venue in that contract? The answer was no. So I can already see what's going to happen next. Fury and MTK and Frank Warren and everybody who needs to sign the contract on Fury's side is going to sign the contract, send it back. Then Eddie Hearn and AJ will sign the contract. Well, that contract is going to, I'm assuming, would state this contract can go ahead and be finalized if both parties agree to the date and the venue. So I can already see it coming. Yeah, they come out, both contracts are signed, blah, 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 everything's great. We're working on a venue and date. And then that's just going to pose more issues after the contract has been signed. Now, I thought everybody was under the assumption that it was going to be in the Middle East because that's where the most money is. It makes sense. Me personally, I would rather see it at Wembley. But we're cutting it kind of close to get people, 80,000 people, in a stadium in Wembley. I know UK has a date that they plan on opening. I believe it's at the end of May, maybe. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. So is that what they're waiting for? I mean, there's so much money in this fight. I think both fighters would survive if they did it in the UK. And not only that, the government should pony up some money to keep that fight in the UK. Like all the other countries, the government pays to stage huge events. Now, so I'm a little disappointed. I wasn't happy with the interview that I saw today by Eddie Hearn. Seems like nobody wants to talk about the fight. All the interviewer, everybody who does an interview with either Frank or Bob or Eddie, they pretty much ask the same question: how's it coming along? They give the same answer, and then the interviewer moves on. Probably because they're told not to ask questions about AJ Fury. We got to start hyping up this fight, building this fight, demanding this fight. Because you know Tyson Fury, one day he's hot, the next day he's cold. And if this keeps on dragging out, it's going to turn into a pissing contest. Oh, well, he didn't sign the contract. No, he didn't sign the contract. Oh, we signed the contract, but they want to give us a bullshit date and a bullshit venue. "2021 could be the year of undisputed, not just in the heavyweight division, but in multiple divisions." And I'm going to do a video on that a little bit later. But this fight right here can set the tone for the year of undisputed. And the fans, that's like literally what would save boxing, what would help boxing. Because the biggest complaint you see from fans is, he's a champion? No, he's a champion? International champion? What does that mean? International doesn't mean a real champion? Well, why does he have a belt? There's too many belts. Too many champions. So if 2021 can be the year of undisputed, it'll help launch the sport of boxing back to where it belongs, which I think should be number one. But with all the politics and all the BS and all the Twitter talk and people not fighting each other, money, boxing is taking a dive for the worse. So what we need from you, Tyson Fury, what we need from you, Anthony Joshua, sign the contract, announce a big fight so the boxing world can move forward, start steamrolling, get momentum for other big fights. Maybe this would encourage an Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, because they'd see the amount of money that could be generated. Now, obviously, Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford wouldn't generate that much money, but that fight could potentially generate that much excitement. You know? We got Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez, undisputed, coming up. So this is what I'm saying. The heavyweights, Fury, Joshua, put pen to paper. We want to see the fight. Not only do we want to see the fight, but we want to see it twice. And we want a clear and definitive, undisputed heavyweight champion. And like I said, I think this would light a fire under the ass of the whole sport of boxing. Promoters, managers, TV networks. To say, you know what? We got some momentum now. Let's go. Trilla just threw in a shit ton of money for Teofimo Lopez. More and more of that stuff could happen if we could just set aside the politics, the BS, and make the fights that fans want to see. Now, AJ and Fury, they've been talking about this fight. It's been a year. According to Fury, a couple days ago when he did his interview, They're not any closer than they were a year ago. So I can't imagine what the big stumbling blocks are. The major cause for most fights not happening is the money. Well, if you remember, I don't know, last July or something, Fury came out on Twitter and said, "Yep, terms have been agreed to, the money's been agreed to, 50-50, winner gets 60-40 in the rematch." With that major hurdle out of the way, what could be the other stumbling blocks? Now, I don't know what's the holdup. I can only guess. I'm not a fly on the wall. I have no clue what's going on. So why don't you guys let me know in the comments below what you think, why this fight is not being announced, and why don't you guys also tell me, when do you think this fight will be announced, if you think it's definitely going to happen. So everybody, you know what to do out there. Please like, subscribe, and share. Once again, this is Moore's House. Peace.